Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Ch0pper, and welcome everybody to today's video. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a while since we've talked about leaks for a brand new map. The last time we did this was talking a little bit about the Erangel remaster, and then before that we were talking about the leaks for Vikendi and discussing all the features of that map before it came out. So today, we're back with more leaks for another map. So we're going to be looking at all of the details of this map, the new weapons, the new vehicles, the layout of the map, everything like that. And now it's important that when we talk about these leaks for every single thing, that you take it all in with a grain of salt, because everything is subject to change. There is a lot of false information that goes around when leaks do come out too, so it's important that we kind of sift the wheat from the chaff, you know what I'm saying? But that being said, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like rating. It only takes you 2 seconds of your time and it's absolutely free. I'd appreciate it a lot. And also, if you haven't already subscribed around here, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing with your time? Make sure to hit that sub button for daily PUBG content. That would be absolutely wonderful. Become a part of the great community that we got going on here. I'm sure you won't regret it. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Now, the map that we're going to be talking about today that got leaked was ironically leaked from the exact same source that ended up talking about the winter map way before we even knew what was coming. And now we only saw concept designs, we saw a couple of textures that were going to be inside the map, and they have been tweaked since the full release of the game, but it was a good comprehension of what we're going to see in the winter map, and they definitely called it. Now, I say that just to give credibility to where this is coming from. So the map in question we're going to be talking about is called Venezia, and as you can see on screen right now, this is two different concept designs of the map. You can see on the right hand side, this was the original version of the concept, and then the second one is the little bit updated and newer version. And this map is basically based on Venice, Italy as the setting. I don't know about you guys, but I really like the idea of having a map set in Venice, Italy. Italy is absolutely beautiful to begin with, and Venice is great, but not only that, but it seems that this is going to be an intact version of the city, or some kind of play on the city, right? Because if you guys haven't heard, PUBG has made it pretty clear in the past that they're essentially done with doing post-apocalyptic settings after Erangel. That was their really one and only go at that, and they don't really plan to do anymore. And you can see that reflected in maps like Sanhok and Vikendi, which are not worn down in the slightest. They're just very pristine and set how they were. So with Venezia, we not only have a really different and unique setting for a new PUBG map, but we also have brand new features, some new weapons and vehicles we got to talk about as well. The new vehicle that's supposedly going to be included in this map is a Vespa, and it looks pretty similar to the one that we already have in Sanhok. It's a little bit of a different variation, but I'd assume it would function pretty much the same way, and it's very Italian themed, fits into the setting perfectly, and I could definitely see that happening. Now, if the layout of this map remains pretty much the same as what we see in the concept, I don't even think vehicles are going to get used that much, because it is very close quarters in comparison to all the other maps. It seems to be a little bit smaller than something like Erangel or Miramar, and it's very compact and close together, so I don't know how much you're going to actually need to use the Vespa itself, but it's always nice to have new vehicles nonetheless. There is definitely more water involved in this map, and especially you may need to cross it a little bit or use it to travel, so the aqua rail is making a return in this map as well from what we hear, and I think that's a really good thing personally. I think that fights from the water can be a lot of fun in some of the most intense moments you can have in PUBG, but it needs to be done with balance, right? You don't want too much water and people all the time in boats, but you're hoping it has some determining factor in the outcome of the match. Now, when it comes to new weapons, this is always an exciting topic. I love talking about this, and for this map, we have some pretty unique themed ones for Venezia, and the first AR that we're going to be having that is apparently going to be brand new is the Beretta ARX. Now, if we're following what PUBG normally does with all of its new maps, this is going to be the replacement for the Scar L on the map. It's happened with Sanhok in the past. The Scar L got placed with the QBZ, and then in Vikendi it got placed with the G36, and then in Venezia will likely be replaced with the ARX. But this sounds like a really cool assault rifle to play with, and it honestly looks awesome. Now, that's great. A new weapon is always wonderful to have, but that's not all, folks. There's more. There's one more shotgun that we're supposedly going to be getting as well, and this is the Benelli M4. This is a tactical shotgun that I assume will be a common spawn weapon. I'm not 100% on that. It would be interesting to see a crate weapon for a shotgun for a change. I don't have any solid info on that. Either of these could potentially be crate weapons, I suppose, but if I were to give you my guess, I would say that both of these are going to be common spawns, and I don't think the shotguns are going to get replaced, but I do in fact think that the ARX is going to be the replacement of the Scar L. That's just how it is. I don't see them really doing anything else. It'd be nice if they both could spawn, but I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. And that's still not all for new stuff, guys. There's one more crate weapon that I'm pretty excited to talk about, and I really hope that this is true and this does come through. So this is going to be finally the long-awaited C4 equipment that is supposed to be an airdrop weapon. I think that's the best way to do it as well. We've been talking about the C4 for pretty much forever. It got leaked a while ago, and I think this would be the perfect time to bring it in for a new map, and I also think that this would go really well if they brought the riot shield into this map too. I don't know where that thing is. I don't know where the development of that whole thing is gone, but hopefully we'll see it in this one. Now, keep in mind, the C4 got leaked, I would say, around 5 months ago, so they're probably working out exactly how this is going to work in the game and make sure that it's balanced balance, which I appreciate. I don't want them to put it in and it be broken. I'd rather just have them wait. So hopefully this is the time for them to bring it out. Now, there is one more weapon that I'd like to talk about, but here's the one that has me a little bit skeptical. There's supposed to be the HK911 that is going to be an underwater rifle. Now, one of the features of the map apparently is supposed to feature more seamless water combat, so maybe you'll be able to fight while you're in the water itself and instead of just being helpless when you're swimming. So that would completely require them to change the mechanics of how the water works, and so maybe bullets actually do work when you're swimming. So I don't know. That's the one I'm not 100% sure on, and if I had to tell you, this is the least likely to be included in the game. And I wasn't even sure if I wanted to put this one in the video because of how far of a stretch it is, but I figured we'd talk about everything and I'll let you guys make your own decisions about this. Now, because the map is going to be laid out like this, there's a lot of buildings, especially in the center, but it's all bridged together, so I think it's going to have a decent flow to the map and it'll be easy to travel around, but it's definitely looking like you're going to want to stick to buildings for the meta of this map. That's going to be just the way to play it. So as far as locations, we actually have some names that are going to be on Venezia. Now, here's the thing about names that you really need to keep in mind is that even the name Venezia itself is very subject to change, and I wouldn't even consider that to be the final map name. Like Vikendi, before it came out, the leak was it was like Dior Otak or something. It was something very different and strange. So Venezia, I bet you is a work in progress. But anyway, some of these names for locations and point of interest that we have are Mariwa, Castle, Main Square, and Harbor. I can guarantee you at least some of these are going to change because they already have a castle landing location in Vikendi, so they've already used that and I don't see them doing it again. But it is interesting to know that they are going to have a castle-like location or structure for a point of interest on this map. It's going to be more Italian-themed castle. I'm not entirely sure what a Mariwa is. I couldn't tell you. Main Square is pretty self-explanatory and Harbor is as well. There is a couple beach areas which look fun to fight on, and I bet you those will probably have some of the lower tier loot on the map. Now, guys, this is one of the most wild concepts that the map has to offer. And again, like I said earlier, take this with a grain of salt, as this is maybe just an idea, something they were playing around with in a complete work in progress. Doesn't represent what's going to be in the map or the game absolutely at all. But as you can see from this map, there are gray dots around the map, and those aren't necessarily the borders. Those are what the players spawn on in the beginning of the game. So you don't fly in and drop like you normally do from the plane. Apparently, each player spawns on their own aqua rail, and when the timer counts to 0, when you can go, you all drive towards the island in any way you like to, and then you loot up from there. That's something that would completely change the meta of how players are spread out, I think. So for example, hot dropping, if you want to get to the center of the map, which likely has the best loot, is going to take you a lot longer and will be more dangerous to go, as you have to travel with other players to fight to get there, which is a cool concept. I'd be down to play it. I don't know how it would affect the game for better or worse. We'll have to see. But let me just say this one more time to make it very clear. This is not a 100% thing. This is absolutely just an idea and a concept that was played around with. So we could just fly in regularly, or we could have this boat thing going on. And another ridiculous concept, not only that, but instead of the red zone on here, as the red zone would be like very annoying, it wouldn't work well on this map, I don't think. There's supposed to be a sort of surveillance drone in place of the red zone that will reveal players that are outside of the map. So if they're in the blue, then they're going to be revealed if they're out there for too long, and then the drone will pick them up for other players that are inside the zone. It won't be a thing that's around for very long though. It'll come and go just like the red zone does. But again, this is another concept that I really think is shaky at best. I'd be absolutely down to try all these things, of course. I think we should give it a fair shot before we judge it, but again, these are things that we need to talk about before they do come out so we can get a little bit of an idea of what to expect and also what the devs are thinking with these new changes in mind. With all that being said, this is the best and newest look at Venezia that we currently have, and again, these are all concepts. If you saw the concept for Vikendi, it was pretty different to when the full release of the map came out, like the name change and everything. So we're calling it Venezia now, we're calling all the names inside it what they are, but all of these are very subject to change, and again, take these with a grain of salt. If everything in this map ends up happening though, this would be a very different and unique PUBG experience. I'm not even saying it would be a bad experience. I think it could be great. The whole thing with boating into the map instead of dropping in, and then the replacement for the red zone are obviously the biggest like real gameplay changes, but if they fit the map and it plays well, then who's to say that it shouldn't be in the game? And as far as the new guns, I'm always open to having new weapons on the battlefield, but I'm telling you guys, we need new crate weapons. It's been way too long, and it's something that is severely lacking right now, and I think would excite players again to chase drops and just to play the game overall. The C4 and the Riot Shield finally make it into this map, and I assume that both of those are going to be crates only. That would be absolutely wonderful and a dream come true. But let me know what you guys think of Venezia overall. Is there anything that you really like about the map? Is there anything that stands out in particular? Obviously, the boats and the red zone are obviously one. Some of the underwater battling, from what we hear, could be really cool, and that was definitely a different concept. So we'll have to see when this actually does end up releasing. I should caveat that. I should say when and if, because says PUBG is also hard working on the Erangel remaster, which is another thing that is already confirmed to be coming up. We know that's happening, so maybe they're working on 2 projects at once, a remastered map and a brand new map as well. One suggestion that I do have for the map, and this is like kind of a little thing, it's kind of petty, but it's something that I like and I think really makes the map feel different, and that's different weather settings, just like as far as the skybox. I don't really want rain in this map. I could do without that. I don't want fog. This is supposed to be a bright and sunny, really pretty version of Italy, and the only thing I'd want is a different skybox, kind of like Miramar, where they have like the sunset, they have like different cloud patterns. It's really just a little thing, but in my opinion, it helps give the new maps great replayability. It makes it feel different every time you jump into the map, and can genuinely like change how you see it as well. So anyways, guys, I wanted to present this information about the brand new Venezia map, and again, if there's anything new that comes out, if the map name changes, I'll let you guys know. Make sure to subscribe around here if you're brand new, and drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed this. I wanted to present to you all the facts, and then you can make the decision on what you think about this map on your own. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless, and before you guys go, if you don't mind sticking around for 10 more seconds, if you want to go subscribe to my second channel, which I'm hard working on brand new videos over there that aren't necessarily PUBG related, but is going to be more content based over there. So if you want to go check that out and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. The support has been wonderful, so thank you so much. So go check that out. Links in the description down below. But anyways, all that being said, thanks guys once again. You're the best. I love you so much, and I'll see you all on the next stream or the next video. Have a good one, everybody, and peace out.